Mr. Bush, what single qualification sets you apart from the other candidates in your race?
That would definitely just be my experience in management. I'm a professional engineer by trade. In my previous life, and I've been a full-time county commissioner since I took the oath of office. I've been a county commissioner, but in my previous life, I managed between 300 and 350 people and had a contractual budget of about 74 million, an operations budget just over 20 million. So I'm used to dealing with large budgets. One of the biggest things you realize when you come in to try to manage in Washington County is you don't have any budget. You don't have many employees. It's real eye-opening experience. But just my ability to manage and manage multiple projects at one time, as well as dealing with large budgets, I think that's one thing that really sets me aside. Sets me off to myself. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McCall, what are your plans to help build the morale of county employees?
Well, one of the things is I would like to talk to everybody first before I start setting a plan up to build morale, because I don't know what the issues are exactly. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you I know, because I don't know. I need to talk to people and find out what's going on. I'm not gonna be a miracle worker if I don't know what's happening. I need to talk to people and find out what the issues are before I can make a plan to try to help it. But I think we can resolve the problem. If there's a morale problem, I think it can be resolved within the county. We ain't got to go outside for the help. And I'm willing to work with anyone that's willing to work with me on that issue. One of the other things is, as a full-time county commissioner, I don't have anything else to do, so I can sit there and listen to you all day long. So we can come to a solution.
Done? Yep. Thank you, sir. Mr. Hawkins, Washington County has a new $9.2 million courthouse facility. What's the next capital improvement needed in Washington County?
Lynn said it earlier, and it come to my attention last week at the county commission meeting of the disrepair that the current ag center's fallen into. After the meeting, me and Ms. Dillard sat down and we discussed a few ideas that I had to maybe to expedite it. I understand that we had a $300,000 grant issued, and we're going to roll it over and continue to apply for it over the next years to make the county make the ag center come to fruition. But I just think that the county can look into other aspects and other grants to abilities to be able to make this maybe come into a faster achievement. We could work. One of my ideas is work with the city of Chipley. Maybe enter into a partnership with them on ownership of it, where we can use some of the grants that they can apply for to help expedite the building of the facility. And a while ago, Ms. Jones was alluding to the property issue where we could build it. It's my understanding that there's also land that's available there at the existing facility that's not being utilized at this moment. So I'd love to see the county move forward to build a new facility.
Mr. Fisher, you'll round out this round of questions. Nobody wants more taxes or the elimination of county jobs. However, these are two of the fastest ways to increase available revenue. What are your ideas to increase available funding for projects?
Wow. Well, we got to tighten our strings. We got to look at where the waste is. We don't need to lay on people. We need to hire people. And to do that, we got to make things happen. We really got to tear into the budget and look it over and try to figure out exactly where we need to be. Evidently, we're in a hole. Well, we're going to get out of the hole, and we have to do it together. And I know that's an important question, but I also like to address the other question about the alcohol. I'd like to think that Washington County and the people in Washington County are better than that. I don't think we need to have a wet county to have success. I can remember all the way back in the 70s, the first Assembly of God church north of town, this came up, and the pastor preaching about it.
10 seconds.
That's not gonna make Washington County. We don't need to be selling out the alcohol. If somebody wants to drink hard liquor, they can go out of the county and get it. It's not gonna make that much of a difference in our county budget. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If anybody sees Donnie Strickland walk in, make sure that you let him know he can come on up here. You haven't seen him yet, have you? Okay. All right, that concludes that round. Veronica started that one, so Ms. Gothard, you'll start this next round. County commissioners are sometimes faulted and sometimes praised for taking a day-to-day role in the operation of the county government. When commissioner, what do you see as your role?
I absolutely think that the county commissioner policy setters, because of different things we've been pulled into, and I've said this to our new county manager that we've just hired, we get pulled into so much stuff as a county commissioner that we really have no business in. And that's one of the things I'm excited about. We've hired a strong county manager. I think he's going to be able to take over and make some good decisions and keep us out of the day-to-day business. And I'm going to say one thing about the question on what department you feel like needs the most improvement. One of the things that I think we need so badly is to train our employees. Our employees never, hardly ever get to go to training. Our motor grader operators are trained by the ones that are retiring, who are retrained by the ones that retired before them. I don't know that they've ever had any training on how to grade a road or some of the different things in the county, but we've got to get where we start a regular training program, letting our employees go to training and learning some of the things. We have employees that move from department to department. They're never trained on what they're supposed to be doing. And so there's a long learning span there. That's something I'd like to see us implement.
Thank you, ma'am. Frankly, there are a few of these questions which not mean-spirited in any way, but sort of are directed towards a seated commissioner, and some of these only answerable by someone who is privy. So I'm going to ask some of these. I would welcome you as an audience to tell me if the question is sort of off base, but I don't want to offend anybody who's submitted the questions either. First one is, and this is Mr. Jones, does grant money have to be paid back for any reason? And I'm presuming they mean if grant money is secured by the county to accomplish a project.
In most cases, from what I understand, grant money does not have to be paid back. A lot of it does. In the case of this SAFER grant we just got, that money does not have to be paid back, from what I understand, but it ends in 2 years. And who's going to pick that up? 1.6 million, I think it is. Who's going to pick that money up after that grant ends in 2 years? The taxpayers of this county are going to have to pick it up if it continues. If it doesn't continue, all the folks that got hired with that grant are going to be out of a job.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Joyner, not all schools in Washington County enjoy school resource officers on their respective campus. Is there anything you as a county commissioner can do to help change this?
Well, the only thing that the Board of Commissioners can do is actually get with the sheriff and find out what his needs are. And if he's short on funding, we need to help him get those funds to where he can put those people in place for these schools. The schools nowadays are a lot more dangerous than what we were used to when we went to school. And these resource officers are very important for our kids. Our kids need to be involved with the law enforcement to know that they're there to help them. And I would make every effort to see that the sheriff gets what they need to do what they need to do to put these officers in our schools for our kids and keep them safe, because that's the most important resource this county has, is our kids.
Thank you. Mr. Bush, and again, some of these questions are sort of truncated, so I'm having to guess at what they're actually asking. What was actually put on the paper is plans to balance the Washington County budget. I'm presuming that that means, do you have plans, or what are the plans to balance the Washington County budget?
Well, we have balanced the budget each year. We've gone through some pretty tough measures to do that. I'm going to go back a little bit on the sheriff's budget. We had actually increased the sheriff's budget somewhat this year to where he could give a raise to some of his deputies. But the sheriff's budget, what a lot of people don't realize, sheriff's budget is close to half of what the whole county's budget is. So people look at the county commissioners and think all that budget's going to the county commissioners and what little work staff that the board is over. But you got to remember, those county monies are also utilized by all the other constitutional officers, supervisor of elections, you know, the clerk of courts, all of them. So it's just a struggle every year to balance the budget. You just laying wage, you know, and down in Sunny Hills, there was one parcel there, I know it was valued at $49,000. It's currently valued at $2,000. So that's quite a loss in revenues when you lose that much tax, ad valorem tax.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McCall, again, having to guess a little bit at this one. The actual question is worded, fire service plans after SAFER grant funds is depleted. I'm presuming they're asking what are plans going forward after the SAFER grant funds are depleted.
You see what I do?
Yes.
I don't know this one. I ain't gonna tell you I do it because I don't know.
Would you agree with me that this is probably a question that only a sitting commissioner would be privy to? I'll ask you another one. We're trying to be as fair as possible here, but I do want to ask all the questions that were submitted, if at all possible. Some of these are very specific to a seated commissioner. Okay, Mr. McCall, there has been arguably no appreciable economic development in Washington County for the past 10 years. What can you as a county commissioner do to help this situation?
Well, like I said before, I'm willing to work with other county commissioners for growth and take a look at whatever we need as a whole for Washington County and put together a plan for growth. And going back to what I said before about these two highways that we have coming through Washington County, I think that's going to be one of the major things for growth. We've got to find a way to tap into it. And I can't tell you exactly how we'll do that, but I know that's one of the things that we need to look at for growth. And besides that, we have some of the best water ways in Florida, here in Washington County. That's another thing that we need to look at. We have opportunity for kayaking, boating, stuff like that. Outdoorsman, this is an outdoorsman dream. We just got to learn how to appeal to the people that want to come here for the outdoor recreation that we have.
10 seconds.
So with that, I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hawkins, why are you running for this office of county commissioner?
That's simple. The constituents of Washington County and my family. I want to see Washington County in a place that our kids can live, work, and worship the rest of their life. And they see that that's where they want to live, work, and worship. Right now, the current way we're going, if you go to school, you graduate, you get your college degree, you move off, get a job, retire, come back. We've got to change that revolving door. And I have ideas to change the revolving door just by one simple thing. Right now, the county owns 357 lots in Sunny Hills. 357 lots that does not receive one penny of ad valorem. We've got to put some sort of effort in order to get them lots back on the market. I met with Gil Carter this week. Me and him discussed it, and I love to work with our county commission, that if you're willing to build a house inside on one of them lots, the county is willing to give that lot to you in order for you to build a house according to their comprehensive plan. If not, you put $2,000 in the escrow account. At the end of the 2 years, if you have not built a house, the county retains the money. It's a no-loss situation for the county. So I do have plans to build a county.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Fisher, our children are our future. What would you do for the children of Washington County?
Well, that's the truth of it all. They are the future, and to do that, we have to build industry into this area. Without industry, they have no future. And what I want to do is I want to lobby some of these corporations. I've dealt with them before, all the way up from GE, manufactured housing companies. I know some of these movers and shakers that are out there. What I want to do is I want to try to bring them into Washington County so we can have jobs and we can have a future. And if we don't do that, we don't really work hard to lobby these outside corporations to come into this area, we're going to be left at the train station with the train already gone, and it's already happened to a big extent. There's a lot of development down in Bay County. They've had some success over in Jackson County. Well, we need ours too. And what I'd like to do is put a consortium together of county members from the surrounding counties so we can actually get something in here, so we can have a future for our children and they don't have to move away. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Jones, if elected, what change/improvement would be your top priority to benefit all of Washington County?
Okay, there are several different ways to do this, and I've spoken to many people during the past few months here. First of all, regarding the children and assisting them, everybody doesn't need a college degree. A lot of people will fight with me. My daughter has one, my son does not, I do not. School of Hard Knocks here. We need to improve the vocational tech college here, allow the children a career person in those schools, rather than just your school counselor, have somebody that'll talk to them and explain to them that, listen, just because you don't want to go to college doesn't mean you're not going to get a job here. There are lots of jobs out here. That's one. That came from somebody else, not from me, but directed to me.
10 seconds.
Another thing is morale. We go back to the morale in the entire county. It's low. A little smile from people gets a smile back. Happens to me all the time. Help a person, help an older person cross the street.
Thank you, ma'am.
Helps.
All right, that concludes that round. By the way, interestingly, when a technical center changes to a technical college, they enjoy statewide between 30 and 35% increase in recruitment of new students. So there is definitely that high schooler, the stigma going to the VOTech, and they can actually tell their friends they're going to college, and in this case they truly are here in Chile. Something we're very proud of, and obviously I'm passionate about that. And they enjoy over 40 degree certification programs, if I didn't mention that earlier. We're going to start the new round with Mr. Jones. What is the role and job description of a county commissioner in Washington County?
The main role of the county commissioner is working for the people of this county, people that pay taxes. And I keep harping on that, but that's the truth. And there again, people have been held hostage for too long, the taxpayers. They don't get what they pay for. Alto Carroll is my assistant. And Alto, would you pass those pictures out I gave you? Because one of my passion projects is the roads in this county. And the condition that these roads are in. What he's going to do is pass these out. I want you to look at those. It took me 9 months, this is on my road, it took me 9 months to get that problem corrected right there. Each person in this county is entitled to 2 dump truck loads of dirt per year. And you want to tell me that it took 9 months and they couldn't take a dump truck load of dirt up there and put it in that hole right there? I found a dead dog in that hole, and it went halfway across the road. And
10 seconds.
this is what I'm talking about, working for the people. You probably realize that's what I'm going to do as a county commissioner. I'm going to work for the people and get some of these problems corrected, and they'll get my ear, which I'm not doing right now.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Joyner, Washington County has a new $9.2 million courthouse. What's the next capital improvement necessary or needed in Washington County?
I agree with most of the other people up here that the Ag Center is the next big project we need to look at. It is deteriorating. It's been deteriorating for quite a few years, and they have attempted to patch it, but it's not working well, and it's just not a good building at this time. And I would go along with any funding that we could accrue to replace that building with, and look for property to put it in the proper location to best suit this county, because we do need a building like that for people in this county to use.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bush, what is the single most compelling issue facing Washington County today?
Everything you give me goes back to the budget in my mind, and that's truly it. So many of the limitations of Washington County are budget related. You can only tax the property owners so much, and when you don't have a lot of industry, you know, one small business can put forth the same ad valorem as 20 homes. So, I mean, the more small businesses you can get into your area, and then hopefully eventually some large businesses, it really helps to offset some of the funds that the county is lacking. The question about the Ag Center, that's exactly right. If I'm considering a building, that's one thing I would consider. If I was considering other infrastructure projects, I would possibly consider working with the Knight Publishing family down in the Ebro area to possibly help them put the infrastructure in place to have an industrial park in the Ebro area.
Thank you, sir. I've got a specific question here, and it pertains to a specific district, but I'm going to go ahead and sort of homogenize the question a little bit and see if we can't get a usable question out of it. We've got a speeding problem in our community. What can you as a county commissioner do to help us with that problem? Speed bumps, etc.
Well, first of all, if we got a speed problem in our community need to police up these people. And I ain't talking about getting out and stopping the cars. All you gotta do is take a tag number, car, what it is, what color it is, give it to the police department, they take care of it. If we need speed bumps, then we put speed bumps. But we first need to start policing up those people that's in our area of responsibility. That's where you live at. You do it yourself. It's not hard. You go out there, you're gonna see the person speeding. I mean, you just take a tag number, the color of the car, how many people is in it. When you call the police department, you give that to them. They help them stop that person. Now, the speed bump, I don't know if every place needs a speed bump. You know, but that's one thing that we can do as a community. We can start policing up our own problems before we start howling wolf and haven't did anything ourselves about it. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hawkins, at the sheriff candidates debate, our county's drug problems were a large topic. But the truth is our drug problems are a social economic issue. What do you propose to do to help solve the county's drug problems? And obviously, more of a law enforcement question, but what can you as a county commissioner do, if anything, to help solve some of those social economic problems that might lead to those problems?
As Alan alluded to earlier, the county commissioner does set the sheriff's budget. First of all, we give them the funding where they can be successful. I understand that the funding's short now, but I've laid forth the economic plan in my dialogue through talking with Paul and other people, and I'd love to bring my economics plan to the public. But with these 1 minute questions, just don't have time. But first of all, we give the sheriff a great budget that he can work with, and he can put the deputies in place that need to. Second thing is, the second part of the question was what the county commissioner could do to spur economic growth. Again, working with our municipalities. All growth, and as I alluded to before, one business can pay the same amount of room as 20 homes. So work with our local municipalities, that's where our growth is coming from, and make sure that they know that they have a commission that's going to listen to them and going to help boost their utilities. Because without utilities, businesses will not grow because they want shovel-ready sites.
Thank you, sir. Obviously, we're still accepting questions, so don't hesitate to pass those forward. Mr. Fisher, would you be in favor of a sales tax increase, as it is a fair tax subject to all of the shoppers in Washington County? Would you be in favor of a sales tax increase?
I'm not in favor of any kind of tax increase, and I'm not in favor of taxes, period. We pay enough at the gas pump. I'd like to also sidestep back over to the Ag Center. I've been in that building. It is salvageable. We don't have to build a new one. It can be repaired. It's in a good location right there on Highway 90. And if we've just built a new elementary school, what about the old elementary school? If we do have to tear that down for some reason, we may be able to use the old elementary school in an interim as the Ag Center. There's more than enough space. And that's what we have to do as county commissioners. We have to utilize what we have, make everything stretch, make every dollar holler. And that's what I intend to do as a county commissioner. And that does not include any kind of a favorable vote towards increasing taxes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Jones, how can we improve our working economic development relationship with surrounding counties?
Well, before I answer that one, I need to pose something here to everybody here anyway. I look around here, there's many elderly people in this room. I am also elderly, okay? The nursing home is, in a word, pitiful. Don't put me there. I don't know who's in charge of that, but somebody needs to look into it. We have a county commissioner that's there right now. I don't know that he wants to be there. I don't know anybody who wants to be there, but I know a friend of mine was there, and it was pitiful. Okay, so I think we need to look towards the elderly people as well as the children in this county, because the elderly people are the ones that started this thing. So we need to take care of them, and they have not been addressed here tonight. And in all fairness, I forgot the question you asked.
10 seconds.
Go with it, Lynn.
How could we improve our working economic development relationship with surrounding counties?
Are you posing it back at me?
I thought you said you forgot the question. Does she have any time left?
Yeah, 10 seconds.
Moot point. Oh, you get 10 seconds. We'll give you the 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Communication is the number one thing. You have to be willing to talk to them. You have to be willing to answer the phone when it rings. You have to answer emails, and you have to pose the questions to them. How can we help them? If we can help them, they can
Thank you,
help
ma'am.
us. Thanks.
Ms. Gothard, what would you say your passion project for the county is?
Well, I have several passion projects, the least of which is emergency services. I've been very vocal about it, not backed up from it one little bit, but I believe that we have to change the way emergency services work in our county. We have to increase the communication. We have areas of our county where there's absolutely no radio service for our fire, police, EMS. We've got the towers there, we've got the space that was donated for repeaters and antennas, but it's just never been done. And when you have a fireman, a policeman, anybody out there in some of the south end of the county where there's no radio service, it's a safety issue and it's scary. And so one of the things I want to do this next year is to really work. We have what we need. The money's sitting there in a fund. There's over $100,000 in a communications fund. What we need to do is to get somebody together that can make the decisions,
10 seconds.
get the repeaters up there, get the communication where we need it for our emergency services.
Thank you, ma'am. That round was started by Ron Jones, and so this will be our 8th and final round of questions, giving us a total of 64 questions. If you have anything that you'd like asked, if we'll hand it up, we'll try to work those in, but it looks like timing-wise, we're going to have time for one more round of questions and then a final minute each to sum what we spoke of tonight. Mr. Joyner, you're first up. Why are you running for this office of County Commissioner?
I have lived in this county all my life, and I enjoy the people here, I enjoy living here. I don't want to live anywhere else. I've worked all over the world, but there's nothing like Washington County. Some of the best people in the world live here, are living here. And I have a passion for this county to see it grow. You know, we may not have everything we want, but we've got to learn to take care of what we do have and each other. And I want to be able to work with the board, the other members on the board, to accomplish what we can. It may not be everything we want, but we want to just move the county forward, get it out of debt, put money in the bank, and that way we can attract more business and more people to this county, and we can get a bigger tax base that way. We do have a small tax base to work with, we really do.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bush, do you have any specific programs in mind to make Washington County a better place to live? And please be specific.
This is similar to the question you gave me earlier, and I'll just try to answer it in a little more detail. We just need to take what avenues we have to get out and enjoy the outdoors. In my mind, that's one of our strongest resources, and we just need to continue to improve them. As I mentioned earlier, we got 3 landings now that are being improved, and we got one. We got a grant that's been applied for to improve it down at Gin Pond. I would like to see us do that. I really like Trey's idea about getting more involved with the Walsall Recreation Group, Chipley, Vernon. That's one that we haven't really worked, and that's a great idea, Trey.
10 seconds.
We've got a wonderful, wonderful community, and we just need to take the resources we've got and really make them available to the people.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McCall, Washington County, not unlike surrounding counties, struggles to keep good personnel, especially in the sheriff's office, because of budgetary restrictions. Recently, the sheriff's office lost a large portion of their dispatchers due to job openings at the Department of Transportation. What can you as a county commissioner do, if anything, to change this?
Well, at this point, I'm thinking, if anything we could do, we first have to look and see why they're leaving. Is the pay better? I mean, they got better coverage? I don't know. But that's something I would have to look at. I don't know, I can't do anything for it. But get back to the other question that Commissioner Gothard said about the communication. I agree with you 100%. That those people out there in Walsall, Ebro, Vernon, we need internet service. You got to go to the library to do online classes. I don't know why we can't set those towers in action, and you can work from your home. You can do your internet, on-school training at home, application for jobs. You can search for jobs. You ain't got to go to the library. I mean, it's just a necessity. We need to get out of the Stone Age and get into the 20th century.
10 seconds.
That's it.
Mr. Hawkins, what plans have you already made, if any, to make yourself available to the citizens of Washington County?
There's not many people in Washington County that don't know how to get hold of me. Like I said, I own a local business in Vernon. There's multiple trucks running down the road every day with my number on the side of it, and I'm free to talk to anyone at any time. I enjoy talking about this county, how we can better this county. It is a passion of mine. It is something that I strive to make new ideas every day. Look at the ability that we can make this county grow. I'm one of the commissioners, and I want to commend the existing board. They've done a great job paying the debt off, and I look forward to working with them on that. And but I want to make specifics. I'm not one to just throw out an idea that we need economic development. Everyone here in this room agrees that we need economic development. And there's no one on this board that will say that they don't agree with that. But you've got to have a plan. Words are cheap. You need to elect someone that has a plan, that is ready to put the plan in action.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Fisher, what are your plans to grow Washington County economically?
My plan as your county commissioner for District 3 and county commissioner for everybody in all 5 districts is to get out there and meet with these corporate giants that are out there, the ones that have moved and they've had trouble with overseas employment. We've probably got the best employees, the best workers, the best Christians on this planet right here in Washington County. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that those people know we're here. We've got beautiful resources. We've got great places for them to live, for them to have recreation. And we're going to put Washington County on the map again. Those of us that have been around here for a while, remember Orange, the city of Orange up on Orange Hill? What happened? The railroad came through. No more city of Orange. There's one set of concrete steps out there to mark where that town was. Everything else is gone. Well, for Washington County and Chipley, we've been passed by too. And we need to make noise. Remember, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And I plan on making as much noise as possible to get us the development we need right here for our future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Jones, there seems to be a good deal of dissension between areas of the county. How do you feel that issue might be remedied to unite the county as a whole?
Well, here we go again. It's called communication. I know that most of the people, and I'm not here to offend anybody, but most of the people in the county think that Chipley thinks they are the county, okay? There are other places out there, little dirt roads, people living everywhere in this county. Everybody is part of the county, so it's called communication. You know, and I don't believe anybody in this county because I don't even know, and I'm running for this position, okay? I don't know the ins and outs of every single one of these positions the county holds. I don't know why Charlie Brock, bless his heart, is called the Dirt Man. How did he get that job? I don't even know why Chairman Bush is the chairman, okay? I don't understand it. So I don't believe that everybody in this county understands that either. It's called communication. If Chipley were to talk with Vernon, and Vernon would, you know, no animosity. I know how high schools fight all the time. We're not a high school. We're a county. That's all I know.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Gothard, what one thing would you do to include the people of the county in county government?
Well, I think the biggest thing we can do is putting the meetings online. When I first became a commissioner, it was something I advocated for because I do represent District 5, the south end of the county. And it's just not feasible for people in those areas, 20, 79, 77, to come to board meetings during the day when they're working. I think just a few that we've already had online from the Chipley Observer, people have been asking me questions about what went on at the county commission meetings. And I think those kind of things, putting them online, either audio or video, both, letting people know what goes on in the meetings, it sure does squash the rumors. It's really good for that. And then people can see what commissioner said what they voted for, what they think about the issue, and what their thought process is. I think that's the best way to get people involved in county government.
Thank you, ma'am. And Mr. Jones, you'll round out this final round of questions. What is the single most compelling issue facing Washington County today?
Obviously, the economy. And I've told you what my plan and my thoughts about improving the economy. And once you get that economy going, you've got to promote yourself. If you don't promote yourself, you're not going to go anywhere again. And I know your stance on alcohol, Ms. Guthrie, but and it may not be a saving grace to this county, but it's a doggone good start to get everything going and get the ball rolling and get businesses in here. And I'd like to say, Mr. McCall, there's plenty of speed bumps in Washington County. They're called dirt roads, okay?
Before the candidates have their 1 minute opportunity, we asked this question last time, and I'd really like an honest answer. Is this a worthwhile effort to help educate you as voters?
Yeah.
Thanks to the candidates. All we're doing is standing up here and asking the questions. Thanks to all the candidates who have participated and who will participate. June 13th, which is the second Monday of next month, we will have the Congressional District 2 candidates here. All 4 of those candidates, that's Neil Dunn, Mary Thomas, and the other 2 candidates, and forgive me, I don't remember their names. They live over at Pike, Tallahassee, and Quincy. We'll have those Congressional District 2 candidates here, second Monday of the month, June 13th, and then 2 weeks after that, it looks like we'll have Bev Kilmer and all the people in her race. We'll be letting you know that. All right, that said, Mr. Bush, you get your first 1 minute opportunity. We would ask that all the candidates remain seated until everyone has their opportunity and that you give them your full and undivided attention. Stephanie?
Announce about the debates at the Kiwanis meeting, because I know for clerk of court, we're not going to be able to have a debate because one's a Republican, one's a Democrat.
Good point. Good point. Obviously, there are only Republicans here because this is hosted by the Republican Party in Washington County. The Kiwanis Club, however, features all of the candidates in all of those races. So we welcome the public. All we ask is that you let us know so that we have enough food. But the first debate is May 31st. It's the last Tuesday of the month, and those will be the 3 sheriff's candidates. The subsequent meeting, the next one after that, I believe, is clerk of court, of which there are only 2 candidates now, with the third having dropped out. So feel free to join us any Tuesday at Patillo's Restaurant on the campus of Florida Panhandle Technical College. Again, if you can let us know beforehand if you plan on eating, that would be good. But lots of opportunities to meet these candidates. Forgive me, Alan, for that delay. If you would, please, you're first up with 1 minute.
Well, thank you for coming and listening to us. I just want to say that I have worked very diligently in the last 4 years. I've had many great accomplishments. I've made many great relationships with the legislature and the judicial side. I am part of a regional economic development team, attend the meetings down in Bluntstown. The other thing that I've done is I've taken the certification for being a certified county commissioner, and I've taken the advanced certification program. I've also been elected by the other counties to be one of the board members on the Florida Association of Counties, and I've worked very diligently with Florida Association of Counties and the Small County Coalition to move a lot of the county initiatives forward in the legislature. And I just want you to know that I'll continue working that hard, and I do it as much regionally as I can. You do get drawn into where you wind up doing a lot more locally, of course, because that's where your heart is. But I do try to put myself out there and develop regional relationships as well.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McCall.
Again, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out tonight. One of the things that I like to put the emphasis on, that we had lots of good ideas that came out tonight. One of them was about the communication problem that we have throughout the county. I mean, one of the ideas was we need to get the towers up. I mean, we can say these things and it sounds good, but we're not gonna act and do them. It's just lip service. We got to get the action and put it in, we got to get the problem solved with the communication problem. We can talk and say we're gonna put all our answers and questions on these internet things, but if we don't have no internet that we can get on, it's wasting our time, wasting your time. So we need to make all that happen so everybody can be abreast of what's going on in the county. The other thing is, just remember, I would be a full-time county commissioner. I have nothing else to do, no other obligation, except God first, family, and then county commissioner.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hawkins.
Again, I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all taking your time tonight to come down and becoming an informed voter. I really believe that an informed constituent of Washington County is an asset to the county. We are just a panel of 5. We have we do not have all the answers, so we will look heavily upon you to help us with it and discuss it with us, and so we can become a organized board where we can instrument and put the county's business first and foremost. All I have to say is about myself. If you're looking for a commissioner with real answers, real ability to get the job done, real experience, please vote for me. Like I said, I've got a plan laid out. There's no way I give it to you in a 1-minute speech. But all the years of being in business here local, I have so many contacts in the utility industry. That is where our growth's going to come from, building our utilities up from the ground up and making sure they're in the right locations. So please get with me after it so I can give you contact information. There's signs out front, there's brochures on the table. Get with me so I can sit down and give you a plan for the county's future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Fisher, you have 1 minute.
It's easy to sit up here and do some type of a campaign speech and tell your story. My story is my wife. She talked me into getting into that. She was the catalyst that made me decide to step forward and do what I can do. She knows my abilities. A lot of people out there in the world knows my abilities. I will be and can be an excellent county commissioner for you, and I can and will help this county grow. There's been a little bit of confusion about where I live. I live here in Chipley. My wife, God bless her, she had stage 3 cancer, which she has beat, and we got really good friends in Lynn Haven, so we go back and forth. But the doctor has given her a clean bill of health, and thank God she'll be with me till hopefully my dying days.
10 seconds.
And I just want y'all to know that I'm the kind of person that's going to tell you what I feel and not what I think you want to hear. That's the kind of commissioner I'm going to be, and you'll always have access to me any time of day or night. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Jones.
Okay, a couple things I forgot to tell you. We're inviting everybody to campaign headquarters. I had announced this at one of these meetings before. July 23rd, it's open to everybody and anybody in the county. Democrats running for seats, doesn't matter to me. Republicans running for seats. July 23rd from 10 to 4 at 3189 Highway 277 campaign headquarters. It's called a fishing rodeo, okay? It's so you guys really get to know and get to meet these people on the ground and talk to people like Trey, you know, one-on-one. There'll be stumps there. The people will be standing on old-fashioned stumps the way they used to years ago. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have some prizes for the kids. You catch the catfish, we'll fry them for you. Don't forget, July 23rd. Also, if you go to voteveronica.com, the information is there. I'm an honest person, and I'm not running against anybody up here. I'm running for the county of Washington County.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Gothard.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask for your vote. I think that the last 4 years we've worked hard for the county. We've changed the financial picture of where we were when I was elected in 2012. Not me, but our whole commission. We've got a plan for economic development. We know where we need to go. And I think over the next 4 years, we can really tip the scale on how our county looks. It's not all about roads, although roads are a big thing. But let me say this, if it was just as easy as dumping a load of dirt in a hole, there wouldn't be any any holes in the county. It's just not that easy. When you have FEMA, DEP, water management involved in things, it is very time consuming. So fixing the roads is not just dumping dirt in a hole. There's a whole lot more involved in it, but I think we've worked hard. We've changed the culture of the county. Look forward to doing even more, and I appreciate your vote.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Jones.
Thank you. 9 months is totally unacceptable, Ms. Coffey. I'm sorry. I too want to thank you all for coming tonight. And two things that I haven't heard tonight, 2 words: common sense. Okay? And that's what I intend to bring to this commission is common sense. As I said, I want to work on the roads, the trash, and the jobs in this county, and to keep the good workers that we've got in the county already. And I will also bring honesty, care, concern, and courtesy back to this Board of County Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Joyner, you have 1 minute, and you will be the final one. I know once you get done, everybody's going to bail. But thank you so much for your attention. Thanks for indulging us. Again, these public forums can't be stated in strong enough terms as to the value of them. And with that, I'll give it to you, Steve.
I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and spending your time to make up your mind about who you want to vote for and look at this panel. But my feelings on this county is we need to bring it forward in a sound financial statute, to put money in the bank, bring these businesses in with, to help them with these shovel-ready products. If they need a place to put business, we want to have a place to put it. It's going to take money to do that. We need to put in infrastructure for these, and there's just, and there are more holes in this county than just roads. I can tell you that need to be fixed. So, and like I say, I've got 32 years of business experience, and I'm looking forward to putting that forth and helping this county move forward. And I appreciate your vote.
Thank you, sir. Don't forget, June 13th, second Monday of June, right here, CD2 candidates. Thanks so much to Gloria and Don Potts. They've done a wonderful job. This facility is available. If you've got a wedding reception or a seminar or any other kind of event that would be able to be held in this room, great opportunity. And we thank them so much for making this available at no cost to us. Thanks to the Republican Party, and more importantly, thank you for participating. Good night and God bless.